time now. I'm like, what? You have like 5 kids at home. How do you have time to do that? And so I'm like, okay, Janna, don't worry about that they're doing that. That's fine if they want to do that. But that has been like the biggest treat for me because yes, I have my local clients. So when we're talking about your business, we're going to use me as an example, and I'm Yellow Prairie. So if you're picturing Yellow Prairie right here in the middle, and then my local, what I thought I was going to school for, is just local people. And so there's different ways you can handle your local crowd. You might have a 2-hour consult that is just that, or you might have someone that is just a styling job, or you might have somebody that you're helping them with a reno. Those are all local, and that's great. It involves a lot of footwork, and you're out when you're out around town, and it's very busy, and you got to be careful how you're scheduling yourself. But then there's this whole other side of the world that's all to do with social media and you marketing yourself. So once people know who you are, you can offer e-design. And for me, I'll just tell you as if you were contacting me and saying you wanted an e-design. So this is how it works. People say, hey, I want some help with my living room or whatever. I just have no idea what I'm doing. So I send them a note back and say, this is how e-design works. You send me pictures and dimensions of your space, along with colors that you love, or the kind of the design style you're going for. For me, it's always farmhouse. But I know I'm on track. I already know what rug I'm going to use and everything. And so they tell, and then an idea of the budget that they want to spend on their items, because they are purchasing all of their own things. What I'm providing is a space plan for their room, once I get the dimensions and all that stuff, and an inspiration board. So let's pretend like we're working on a living room. So I'll get their pictures, and I might, if we're talking paint color, I might ask them the exposure of their house so I know what way they're facing, yada yada. And then I'll analyze that. What I usually do is get the pictures on my phone, so when I'm working on my computer, I can keep looking at my phone and feel like I'm in the room and really get the feeling of the room. So I pick out how the furniture is going to be, and then the inspiration board is really the most fun part. I mean, that's how even I can see if it's coming together. I just start playing around with it. I don't have any fancy program. I just use Pages on my Mac, just a blank page. And I always start with the rug. And so I pull the rug into the middle, and then everything else just works around that. And as I'm sort of doing my shop for them, I'm looking, I have the whole internet is my shopping mall, and it's awesome because I never have to leave my house. So those days that I'm working on e-design, I usually give myself no more than 2 e-designs a week because they can be labor intensive, and it's hard for me to sit still that long.
And do people go, oh, I don't like that, and I want something different here, and how does
They
that work?
might, but I tell them, I charge the same for e-design as I do in real life. So it's just easier for me. I started doing it different, and I'm like, no, it's just the same. I'm in Salem, so I charge a little less. I'm thinking I might want to raise my rates, but I charge $75 an hour. And so for e-design, it's the same. So then people will say, oh, well, okay. So I'm like, you can tell me how long you'd like me to spend on it. I mean, they might send me a list this long of things they want me to address, but how long do you have that you want to spend for me? Okay, well, I'd like to spend 3 hours. Okay, so I'll put 3 hours into it. And really 3 hours flies by pretty fast. But I can do a pretty big living room, space plan, shopping, sources given, 3 hours, no problem. So that has been a great supplement to my regular business because I do not desire to be out and about every single day pounding the pavement trying to find one more faux plant that looks good for this install. Yeah. It's killing me.
What do you
So,
What do you do your floor plan in what?
Icovia. Have you guys done that one?
Well, we learn AutoCAD and SketchUp, and and they learn how to do drafting and rendering.
Yes.
But so we haven't used that at all.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. Icovia, we just go to Ballard Design and use their Icovia for free. You know, so, but, you know, that's just for floor plans.
Right.
But I really push the advanced classes so that they really, you know.
Yeah, that, I mean, I'm not saying that I have any great experience in that world at all. So Icovia is just really user-friendly, and it's not super detailed. I mean, I don't get into like coloring it or anything. It's just so they can see where the sofa goes. Yeah, so they know when they get the plan.
And after you give them the plan, do they then do it? Do they then send you pictures of, oh my God, look at this, is amazing, it turned out great?
I
Or
don't know if I've gotten any pictures of a finished room. Once in a while, well, more than once in a while, there'll be people that'll be like, well, what do you think if I do a different rug? And you're like, no. I just gave you this amazing plan. But, it's like, okay. This one lady that's my e-design client in Dallas, I thought she was going to be a pretty quick thing, and I actually moved her up because she was booked out about a month from the time we started talking, and she kept emailing me these questions, and I mean, like, an email this long. And so I was like, okay, I have to rein this in. So I sent her an email and I said, it looks like you're scheduled for October 12th or whatever, but I see you have a lot of questions, so I have some time this Friday. Why don't I just squeeze you in and we'll get you started, and then I can address your questions, and then I'll just let you know how much time I'm spending, so she would know that she was getting charged for that. Mm-hmm. This lady, she's so wonderful, and I'm still working with her. I don't know if I will ever be done, but if she wants to keep paying me to have me be her sounding board, yes, you should do that. No, you shouldn't do that. Yes, how about these pillows? Okay, yeah. It's like, that's
And you
fine.
keep track of all of the time you spend on those emails.
I keep track.
And just bill her monthly or whatever.
I bill her weekly. Because
Weekly?
but I mean, how awesome is that? I go in and answer a few emails, and you keep track of your time, because at the end of the week, I'll be like, I didn't really talk to her much this week. Her bill was $225. So yeah, that is some time for sure. So keep track. E-design, any other questions? Well, I don't know if I really covered it very well, but
No, it's just so new, and I mean, honestly, if I was being a designer now, I'd want to do all e-design because there's so much running around normally.
Yes.
And so it kind of is nice.
and then like if
Like,
something
just get
comes
your
in
fix
and it's
of doing it.
wrong, it's not your problem. You're like,
Right.
I can see the
We deal with
temptation
all
of
the
that.
ordering, because there's a lot that can go wrong in that ordering process, and
mm-hmm.
lead times, and back orders and all that. So
Yeah.
it is nice when they're.
Which is why, and trust me, whenever I have to sit down and place like a big order, I don't know if you feel like this, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom. And I just want to finish like this order, and I don't even really have to go to the bathroom. I just feel like it's so intense, like making sure you're double checking everything, and
It's interesting to see that you do hourly, because a lot of those are flat rate, but I think it's a good thing to do it hourly and kind of communicate with them, like, well, how much do you want to invest in this?
right. If I say flat rate, then they will keep coming back with the questions for weeks.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's this much an hour, and that way they realize, they're like, okay, well, we've probably used up our time, but I just have one more question. Okay, I'll answer your one more question, and then when you're ready to move on to the next space, let me know.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll start being professional.
So you don't push the pitch, I'm sorry, I didn't realize your question.
Oh, I'm just wondering about, the dimensions? So and you're not doing AutoCAD or anything, I'm not sure, I call you, so are you putting dimensions of candlesticks in and?
Oh, no. I don't do anything with accessories. I'm just looking at the big chunks in the room, so they know where the rug goes, where the sofa goes, where the end table, where the sofa table, where's the piano go. So that's just giving them their framework. And then accessories is kind of tough to do online. I get that question a lot because that's my favorite thing is styling, and so people are like, I have this huge wall. So I recently just had one, and I got to her week, and usually when I get to that week, or it's coming up for next week, I'll shoot them an email and say, hey, you're on my calendar next week for e-design, just want to give you a heads up that I need your dimensions and your pictures. Well, this lady got back to me and, oh yeah, I'm so excited. All I really need help with is how to fill these big walls. She sends me all these pictures of walls in her house, and I'm like, oh my word, it's so hard when you're not there and you can't just like, I don't know, I gotta go in and hold it up. How does it look? I don't know.
That's hard.
Yeah.
You gotta get the feel.
So once I got into it, though, I even told my husband, I feel like I'm not gonna do her any service here. He goes, well, maybe you should say, I don't want to waste your money. I feel like you need someone local. But I thought, well, let me just look at it and see if I can tackle it. When I really looked at the room, I thought, gosh, she really needs an area rug. You know what? She really needs a coffee table. Hey, you know what will break up that wall is a big bookcase. And oh my gosh, we could do this mirror that I saw at Ballard right there. So then it started flowing. It's like when I really get in and I've just had my Diet Coke and I'm really fresh, then I know, how to tackle the problem. But I I'm a big worrier, so I'll go to bed at night and think, oh my God, how am I gonna do all these e-designs this week? And I've got these local clients, but nonsense. You have to wait till you're fresh in the morning and you're good to go.
Fresh off your coat.
Have you considered hiring an assistant or anything?
Yeah.